I'm trying
Everyone,
to
hold
mislead.
on. I think I'm still in charge of this courtroom.
Obviously, and you obviously like it too.
We are here on 2023 CR 157, 24 CR 56, 24 CR 57, and 24 CR 96. Each of the four captioned state of Kansas versus Antonio Manuel Perez Beal. Please announce appearances.
May it please the court, Mary Ann Shirley, Special Prosecutor, on behalf of Ms. Gillette.
From the start, the judge makes it crystal clear who's in charge. This isn't just a formality. When you see a judge establish control like this, it usually means they already know the case is messy and expect fireworks in the courtroom.
Today only.
Okay.
William McClendon for the defendant, Anthony Beal. It appears via Zoom from a separate location.
Any announcements at this time, Mr. McClendon?
Your Honor, I'd like to set these for a prelim. One of those cases is a misdemeanor only, and we were just kind of tagging it along because of there's so many of them. But I think either one long prelim or three separate prelims, but I don't want them to be ran together because they're kind of factually different. Each case
Well,
is.
some of them have different victims alleged, yes. But now, Mr. Beal, didn't you have? I was thinking we had something else with you on my calendar coming up, or that we'd just.
There's That's a different issue. It's a divorce between him and his wife, which is being, well, they're not getting divorced anymore, but that's another issue for another
Oh,
later on.
that's not where I was seeing it that I recall. Missy, did you remember any other criminal cases?
No, Judge, just these that are on the docket today.
Okay, well, that's more than enough.
Now, the felony in the first case, 23 CR 157, is allegedly aggravated assault on his, I believe it's his father-in-law.
Okay.
The witnesses are the same in that, for the most part, and 24 CR 96, wherein the felony is his wife, who is also a witness in 23 CR 157.
They're supposed to be having no contact in these cases as a condition of bond, right?
Yes, Your Honor, and that was something I was also wanting to address today.
Missy, how do you want to set these? Giving him a
Well,
separate prelim for each one,
I have June 28th available in the afternoon.
the whole afternoon,
I do have it available
starting at what time?
at 1 or 1:30, if ever we need to start it at.
Let's make it 1:15. These are all set, but we need to also be taking care of that misdemeanor because that's 4 counts of violation of a protection order. So I don't want that to get lost in the shuffle.
Right.
Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll reserve the whole day for prelims. We'll do one after the other.
Starting at 1:30,
1:15.
115.
1:15. Okay.
And you said there was something else you wanted to address?
Your Honor, my how do I do this without incriminating my client? Your Honor, he would like to be let off bond, or have the no contact order with his wife dropped, so they can pursue couples therapy. They have a counselor arranged. I had this information from his wife, who figured out who I was his attorney um, via the courthouse.
Actually, Your Honor, his wife did contact me also, indicating that she would like to have contact in the therapy because they have children that they have to get along for, and she insists that Mr. Beal is a good father. He has some issues, but he's a good father. He's good to their children. She wants to be able to work with him, and she believes that the counseling will assist in that.
He's got an ag assault charge pending against her. an ag assault pending against his father-in-law, 4 counts of violating a protection order against her.
The aggravated assault against her. It's against complicated situation, but it's not against her.
All right, well, I'll just look at him in 56. Violation of protection from abuse order. And she is listed as the victim in each of these, is she not? I'm not saying that she is or that the charges are right, but let me look at that.
It just says that it's a violation of the protective order. It looks like
Okay.
it looks like on December 24th, he sent a text to his wife. On December 25th, he sent a text to his wife. It doesn't appear that there were any, these were texts, these were not in-person kind of threatening situations, Your Honor.
Telephone or text, but that's still a violation when you're told no contact. Now then, let's look at the other one, 57, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and reckless driving.
The victim there appears to be a Jared Everly.
Is that her father?
No, her father's Mr. Simon, I believe.
All right, there's a Jared Everly where he was allegedly put in reasonable apprehension of immediate bodily harm with the deadly weapon, to wit, a truck. And then there's a reckless driving. 96, criminal damage to property of felony. I believe that is his wife's telephone, if I remember correctly.
That's correct,
Yes, Your Honor.
And then a domestic battery. I presume she's the victim. It's in violation of a protective order and criminal trespass. And that was in March of 24. And that brings us down to the other 157. That one dates back to
That's the father-in-law issue.
aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and disorderly conduct. Oh, the deadly weapon in this case was a hammer. Allegedly took a hammer to a Joseph Simon on July 8th of 2023 and committed disorderly conduct.
Listen to that list of charges: aggravated assault with a hammer, reckless driving, violating protection orders, even criminal trespass. This isn't one isolated mistake.
By fighting words.
Your Honor, may I say something?
That's between
No,
you.
don't, Anthony. Don't,
No.
don't.
Don't talk, Mr. Beal, not right now.
So you're wanting the no contact lifted, Mr. McClendon?
Yes, Your Honor, and if I may, that 56 case where there's the 4 counts of a violation of protection order, the wife was the one who initiated contact, and they were talking about resolution to their marriage, which has a pending divorce, but is getting annulled. The divorce
They're
proceeding
dismissing.
is
Who filed the
dismissing,
divorce?
sorry.
Who filed
The wife did.
No. She filed for divorce first. But
She filed, she dismissed, then he filed, and then they're attempting reconciliation, is my understanding.
Miss Shirley's correct.
They're attempting reconciliation and these months-long no contact orders.
They have the children have to still be exchanged. It's been happening either at the school or usually at the daycare, the babysitter.
But the babysitter got a PFA against him too, didn't she?
At one point, I don't know what the status on that is, Your Honor.
And then there was some incident about him flagging down the school bus and jerking the kids off by the arms and dragging them out.
I don't know where that come from, Your Honor, but that was.
I'm not aware of that, Your Honor.
I'm not aware of that here either.
I was supposed to get my children for Easter weekend, and my wife changed her mind and she wasn't going to give me them until a certain date. Thursday was exchange day for our children. I wasn't going to get them till later on. I, they're my children. That was my time with them.
So you flagged down the school bus and jerked them off of it?
Didn't pull them off there like you're trying to insinuate I did.
Oh,
I
that's
went
just, okay.
I went and stopped the school bus, got my children off there. Then we went to the babysitters where our youngest son had at, and went inside, and that's where I'm being charged with the criminal trespassing. I
All
don't
right,
know how
Mr. Bill, I need you to stop talking now. Sorry, I don't want you to
So
incriminate
is
yourself.
that,
And that's what makes cases like this so dangerous. Every violation chips away at the court's trust, and every new incident escalates the risk for the family.
is that where the extra case is coming from that I'm thinking of? That there was
Yes, Your Honor.
criminal trespass against the babysitter that's not among these?
Yes, Your Honor.
So there is a fifth case out there.
No, there's not a fifth case out there.
I still think I saw one besides the ones that somebody else mentioned there.
I believe that's where the 96 case comes in.
No, I don't think so.
Well, these are the only four that they gave me files on, Your Honor.
These are the only ones in Greenwood County that I am aware of.
You don't have anything going through city court, do you, Mr. Beal?
No, ma'am. Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to modify the bond at this time, but I will tell you if the parties are each involved in individual therapy, and when their therapists individually think that they can take on therapy together, I will consider that, making no promises. But if you look at these charges, it looks like these two are dangerous together. What trips the emotions, but they just keep racking up these charges. And now all of a sudden, when they're supposed to be having no contact, they're wanting to get together. They've dropped their divorces. They've each filed a divorce. They're wanting to drop them. And
Your Honor, to shed a little light on the situation. Months when she first dropped the divorce, it was so we could work things out to be a family. She
okay.
immediately looked at the time frame. She filed the divorce, then turned around, filed the PFA, and around that time frame is whenever she got caught being with somebody else when we were supposed to be working on things to be a family. Whenever I caught wind of that, that's when I filed for divorce. But just as Mary Ann and Mr. McClendon say, we have children together. It's in our best interest to do what's right for everybody.
So you're both wanting to get back together as a family, a couple and a family.
That's the end. That would be the ideal end goal. It's not our children's fault. They didn't ask for this. They deserve to have mom and dad. But
And did you say you had dismissed your divorce action?
I'm not yet. I don't want to dismiss that until the way everything's gone. As you can see from my charges, there's nothing worse than a scorned woman. And I want to make sure, I want to take the necessary steps, not leave all my.
So you want to keep your divorce open in case you don't work things out the way you're hoping to.
No, I want to leave my divorce open until we're able to have contact and I can have Mr. McClendon write us up an agreement, and we want to put our home and everything in a trust immediately after the divorce is null.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave the.
Now here's where things get personal. The defendant jumps in, trying to explain away his behavior with the school bus and babysitter. But notice how quickly the judge cuts him off. In court, the more a defendant talks, the deeper the hole they dig. And right here, that's exactly what's happening.
I'm going to leave the bond as it is for now. And so we'll be back here June 28th at 1:15. No contact means no contact. Not through your moms, not through your dads, not through your friends. No contact. Not on social media. No contact. Mr. Beal?
Okay, how do they arrange the child transfer?
Well, how
You've
they
already
did-
gave us you and the county attorney have already gave us permission to before to communicate about our children.
How've they been doing it, Miss Shirley?
I do not know. I haven't had, I know I talked to Miss Simon, I believe last week. And I don't know, I didn't ask her how that was being accomplished because I didn't know until I saw these files today that all these new charges existed.
Well, they're not exactly new. The most recent one was probably March, going back.
Well, but I got off his cases back the first of the year.
Okay, so you had been his attorney up until the first of the year? Okay.
Yes.
And is that why she came? Do you know if that's why she came to you to?
They had both come to me trying to arrange an amicable settlement agreement for their marriage and the custody, care, and control of their children. They were all in agreement, and then things would happen and things broke down. And so I was not able to, I had to withdraw from both of them because I had already talked to both of them.
Sure.
And Miss Simon called last week requesting information and telling me kind of what was going on, but I was unaware of all these the violations of the PFA and the aggravated assault. These are all new to me. But as far as the domestic situation, yes, I was involved in that initially, trying to get everything out. I prepared final documents 3 or 4 times, made changes she wanted, made changes he wanted, and then it fell apart. And as I advised, since I'd already talked to both of them, I could not represent either of them.
All right. So how have you been doing the child custody visitation thing, Mr. Beal?
We've been meeting at the sheriff's office.
Okay.
And then getting communication through my mother.
Well, communicating through your mother is kind of circumventing your no contact order.
You and the county attorney have both already give us permission to contact, to have conversations about the children through a third party.
And I believe that the content there was the babysitter was doing it, and the babysitter got upset with him and decided not to do it, and so his mother said that she would. I believe that's what that
was playing he said, she said, and
well, now hold on. The problem, Mr. Beal, the problem with you saying, well, this happened, you said this, you said that could have happened the first case, and then you went out and got another, and then you went out and got another. So the question is, what is the most recent ruling? Because you've probably got a few that have changed as time went on. So at this point, in this, I'm looking at May 7th, 2024, in case number 2024 CR96. And that clearly says no contact with any victims or witnesses.
Can my lawyer get a transcribe of that court date?
Yes. The simple answer is yes. But that's what the notes say just on this case, May 24th, CR96, when you're in front of the judge.
Your Honor, the aggravated assault with the vehicle, that was the gentleman she was running around with, his cousin. That ought to be pretty self-explanatory. And I did not do that, and I have proof I didn't do that.
But if you did, it would be explained because he was the cousin of the guy she was with. Is that what you mean?
No, I mean it would be explained after everything. It would be explained to why they're trying to do that.
Okay, you're coming back to me now as I read these notes. You had hired Mr. Paw on at least a couple of these, and then you got crossways with the advice he was giving you. So you fired him, then you got it.
Me 4 times.
What?
No, I did not get crossways with him because the advice he was giving me. He told me he would contact me on 4 different occasions.
Well, let's not get into all of that. I don't want to get into all that. You had Mr. Paw. For whatever reason, you came in and Mr. Paw was allowed to withdraw. And then for whatever reason, you got Mr. McClendon appointed, or did you hire him? I don't recall.
I was appointed, Your Honor.
Okay. And then you were complaining that Jill Gillette didn't like you. You wanted a change of venue. You were concerned about a personal relationship you had with Jill Gillette, the county attorney's boyfriend, David. And I told you to stay away from him. And then you asked if you could stay in contact with someone else in his business so you could continue to do business with the other person that you needed to as part of your business. So yeah, we've had a few involved hearings over this relationship and these people that are allegedly your victims. So at this time, I'm going to keep the bonds, no contact of any kind. And I don't mean going through your mother or anybody else. The children are probably named as victims in one of this.
Don't even go there.
They're not.
Don't even try to say that, Your Honor.
Anthony,
Don't try to get me out of bad, Dad.
Mr. Beal,
don't.
please don't talk.
So, Miss Shirley, you're representing the state today, is that right? For Miss Gillette, but you've represented him in the past?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, the reason I say they may be witnesses is because they were allegedly at the babysitters in that criminal trespass when he allegedly came in.
You said victim.
Mr. Beal, don't talk. Please. I don't want you to incriminate yourself.
Well,
right and wrong is wrong. I won't be made out a bad dad.
Well,
nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that. Not your wife. No, that's not the point here. If the children were present at the scene of one of these offenses, they are listed as witnesses in the case. Not that they are victims, simply that a bond says you shall have no contact with victims or witnesses who potentially could testify against you. The age of your children generally precludes them from testifying.
This moment is heartbreaking and ironic. The defendant and his wife both say they want to reconcile, even though the charges involve violence against her and her family. It's a cycle we see too often, abuse followed by promises of counseling or starting fresh. The judge, though, sees through it. She knows emotions can't erase legal danger.
Okay? Just relax. It's okay, Anthony.
Although some people would say that watching your parents fight or threaten other people could be a form of mental
abuse.
Yes.
So to be in, never mind.
All right. I think that's all right. At this point, I think we've concluded everything we need to for today. No contact, Mr. Beal, with wife and I'm going to even say the children until we sort through all of this at prelim on June 28th at 1:15.
So you're going to keep me from my children?
Well, until we sort through this at the prelim June 28th, 1:15.
William, step up.
Judge, if
William.
What are you saying, Mr. Beal?
I told William to step up and speak for his client.
I'm
Mr.
trying.
Beal. Everyone, hold on. I think I'm still in charge of this courtroom.
Obviously, and you obviously like it too.
Mr. Beal, I have put up with a lot with you over the course of these hearings. You always seem to take over or try to. And I've made these orders.
What do you expect?
What was that?
I said, this is my family we're talking about. What do you expect?
Well, I'm not going to get into that with you, but if you want to try to resume contact, it would be good for you at the next hearing to bring in a statement from a therapist that you're going to therapy and that it would be a good move to start going to therapy with your wife. But from what these files show, you and your wife are not good together, that somebody's going to get hurt. Now, that's just what it looks like. I'm not prejudging anything. But if you look just at the paperwork, so go to a therapist, you and your attorney can talk about it. Go to a therapist and see if the therapist can give you something to show that you're not a danger to your wife or your children or her dad.
The judge lays it out plain, these two are toxic together. When every attempt at working things out just ends in another police report, the court's responsibility is to protect, not to gamble. And you can hear her frustration building. She's had to repeat herself over and over.
Because one of these says you were committed ag assault against her dad and someone else. So
I try my damnedest to be a good dad, and if her father thinks it's right to commit insurance fraud, I don't want my children being taught that way.
all right. Well, you talked to the therapist, you talked to your attorney, and we'll take this up June 28th at 1:15.
William,
Yeah.
get my speak up. I'm a dad.
Well, what do you
Mr.
what do you
Mr.
want
Bill, Mr. Bill, as your attorney, I'm gonna have to ask you to just please stop talking. You're digging yourself a hole, man. Please stop. Um, Your Honor, I would just ask that you take notice of the complaints that are filed, and none of them list the children as witnesses. And therefore that we not have the no contact order against the children.
But my understanding from what I recall of the affidavits to support the warrants and what I've heard in these hearings, it's my recollection and belief that the children were present for most, if not all of this.
I don't think that's true.
Miss Shirley, are you indicating?
I don't believe that's true, Your Honor. They may have been on that one, but I don't think they were on any of the others.
Okay.
They were present during the Easter one.
Mr. Bill, please.
That's the only one.
The Easter one is the one at the babysitters.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
I was told I was putting him in danger, but I wasn't trying to get a kid out of the back seat of a moving vehicle.
Like I said, talk to your attorney, talk to a therapist, and we'll see if we can put any more resolution to this June 28th at 1:15. That's 30 days out.
This is the emotional core of the hearing. The defendant cries out, saying he just wants his kids. And you can feel a piece of truth in that. He does want to be a dad. But the problem is, his actions keep putting those very kids in harm's way. The court can't separate the father from the chaos he creates. Clip 7. And that's the final word. No contact. Not with the wife, not with the kids, until the court sees proof of real change. The judge isn't shutting the door completely, she's leaving space for therapy and evidence of progress. But in this moment, her job is to put safety over sentiment. And that's exactly what she does.